Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
All right, guys, let's just be honest. We've waited long enough. It's a crazy date story. It's a Thursday, and this episode is called I Now Pronounce You What? Crazy date story starts right now. I can't believe I'm about to tell this story. Have faith, let it begin. Starts right now.
Check this out. Broadcasting live worldwide.
Hi, Daddy.
Ariel, can you say have faith?
Again.
On June 16th, 2018, a show designed for you, The Daily Commuter, went live. A weekly show all about faith. A show with motivational topics, inspirational stories, and personal testimony set out to change the world.
Have faith, let it begin. One day you'll say it. Can you say have faith, let it begin? Huh? Yeah. Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you.
Welcome to Have Faith. Let it begin. Here's your host, Angel Santana.
Ariel, can you say have faith?
Again.
Let it begin.
Again.
Say have faith.
Again.
Let it begin.
No.
No? Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Crazy Date Story Day. It's Thursday. It's a Throwback Thursday episode, July 8th, 2021. Let's get on with it. No suspense. We start right now. So, for those of you that are new to this episodes and new to this channel, go back, because the Crazy Date Stories go back a year ago. We have plenty of them. We had one this year. We have number 2 for this year. So, here we go. So, as many as you know, I was still on a long rut of horrible dates, and on this particular one, I had just got back from being away in Pennsylvania. The company had taken me away for 3 days to be retrained and to learn how to manage certain new programs that would be coming up in, and as far as our offices back in Providence. So they sent me away for 3 days. Actually, it was like 4 days over at a hotel, and I went there with a colleague, and we had a great time. We learned a lot. And when I got back, I went out and hung out with my friends, and we ended up meeting a bunch of girls at a club, and it was actually a bar scene. I should be more specific. And this one girl came up to me and said, "Hey, I noticed that you had not been here in a while. I miss hearing your voice." And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Well, for those of you that don't know, back in those days, on a Saturday night, my friend at the time was a DJ, and he asked me to be an MC. So I would actually do the mic, and he would do the DJing. And I would be up there called MC Santana, and he was DJ Double J, and we had a good time. And I guess, we had not DJ'd for a while because they had hired other DJs in place. So she, I guess, liked my voice. So, of course, I'm excited because, hey, I haven't had the greatest run of dates, and it was nice to be approached for a change. So we hung out and talked for a little while, and I liked her right away. I'm not going to lie, because she didn't drink, and I didn't drink. And, I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for always some type of a companion, and I'm not going to lie, I've always was in the search of a wife at a young age. I just wanted that relationship. Since I had been gone, almost 2 years with a depression due to a huge breakup, and we hit it off pretty well. We had a good time. We went on our first date that was perfect. I mean, it just couldn't be any more perfect. I'm going to change her name because we haven't spoken with her in years, and it would be wrong. So I'm just going to name her Bethany. So Bethany and I, we got together and we went and decided to do this whole day date. It was the first time I would ever do something different. It was called an all-day date. So we decided we'd go to the beach in the morning, we'd have lunch, we'd then go and maybe see a movie or go mini golfing, then go out to dinner. It was just an all-day date. And I can't lie to you. The date was perfect. There was nothing wrong with, waking up and picking her up, and then taking her to the beach, going to lunch, and then I brought her to my apartment so she could see my dog, and we hung out there. We watched a movie. We decided to go to mini golf, and we then went to dinner. And the date was coming to an end. It was an all-day event. And we shared our first kiss at a water fire in downtown Providence. And she said to me that she wanted me to, take her home a little early. And I got worried. I said, is everything okay? She goes, no, everything is great. I think you should meet my brother. And I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, no problem. He's like, yeah, my brother pretty much raised me. He's like, he's a big guy. And I'm like, big guy. And she's like, well, he's a big part of my life. I said, okay, no problem. So we get to the house, we're hanging out, and the brother wasn't there yet. And all of a sudden, we're getting ready to kind of think about watching a movie. It's still early, and at that time, the brother showed up. He comes in, and he was a security guard, and he was jacked up. For those of you that don't know that terminology, he looked like he had swallowed a Hulk Hogan pill or an Incredible Hulk pill. That's how ripped, muscular he was. And all I kept thinking about was, better not mess this up. And he wanted us to watch a movie with us, and we watched the movie, and we ended up having dinner. He cooked. We did a barbecue outside, and everything was just really cool. And at one point, she just excused herself. And she was going to go and take a shower and get ready for a nap and a nighttime for bed. And I was getting ready to leave. So I said, well, let's stick around and I'll say goodnight to you after you're done. And that's when the brother pulled me aside and said, well, yeah, I want to chat with Angel, And I'm like, all right, cool. At that point, I'd spent about 4 hours with him, and I got comfortable pretty quickly. And we sat down and we started talking, and all of a sudden, he started asking me some very, very important questions. What do you do for a living? And have you ever been in trouble with the law? And I'm thinking, okay, this is normal. This is a big brother / guardian that wants to make sure that she's not hanging out with the wrong crowd. I get it. And then he asked me if I could support her financially. And I'm like, I don't understand. He's like, well, if and when you ever decide to move in together, will you be able to support her? And I said, well, I believe so. I haven't really thought that far ahead. He's like, what are you talking about? And right when he said that, his facial expressions changed. They got really serious. And I felt very uncomfortable. And I said, he says, so you're only here to play house? I said, oh, no, that's not what I meant. I said, look, it's no secret. I told your sister I just came off a huge relationship. I am looking for another relationship, but I don't want to get right into another one too quickly. And he says, well, you do realize that you've spent the whole day with my sister, and she has shared with me that she's falling for you. So this is it. It's either you're all in or you're all out. I said, I don't get it. I've only been on one date with her. I got to get to know her more. I said, all I've ever done, is I've been a very respectful man. I says, all I ever did was give her a kiss this afternoon. I says, that's as far as I go for now. I'm not like that type of guy, that is here to play games, but I'm not ready to jump into something so serious. He says, no, come with me. And I said, oh boy, I'm done. I'm getting let out of the house. He pulls me into his room and he gives me a ring. And he says, this is the ring that I want you to give my sister. And I'm like, for what? And he's like, this is your promise ring. And that you're going to promise her that you're going to marry her one day. I said, I'm like, what? I'm like, hold up a second. I'm not ready for that yet. He's like, no, you're ready. He's like, you passed the test, man. And I'm so happy that you're going to be a part of this family. And he gives me this hug. And I'm holding this ring. And I'm like, what in the heck did I just get into? How is this possible? I just went on I was like, is it wrong to do an all-day date thing? Did I really commit to something that what is going on? So, I called my buddies up. I said, I'm going to go to the restroom, and she had just came out of the, being, showered and getting ready for a nightcap. And I go into the bathroom, and I call my friends, and I go, look, you got to get me out of this. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, they want me to marry her. I'm like, what? And of course, you get that one jokester in the background. That's cool, man. Congratulations. When's the wedding? Shut up. I'm not getting married. I was like, this is ridiculous. I've only been with her one day. I don't even know her. They're like, well, that's cool. You get to know her, man. They did that back in the medieval times. Like, this isn't medieval times. This is the present. So, I get nervous. And I start feeling nauseous. So I come out and I say, look, I'm really not feeling well. I got to go. And they're like, oh, no problem. You could stay in the spare bedroom. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, that's what I was doing. She's like, I made the spare bedroom for you. And I want to show it to you. So I go in there, and there, with the notion that maybe if I just kind of like follow through with everything, I can eventually leave myself out. I go into the spare room, and the spare room is literally like clean, and she's got pictures of us that we took all day. Like, I don't know how she did it, but or during the course of the time she was quote unquote showering, there was pictures of us that we took that day. And they were already in frames. I mean, like 2 pictures. It was like, what in the world is going on here? So I looked at her and I said, look, I work early. I don't have a suit here. I've got to go home. I got to let the dog out. I'll do this. I'll go. I'll come back. She's like, I'll go with you. I'm like, no, let me go. I'll come back. And I'll call you when I'm on my way back. She's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you're coming back, right? I'm like, yes. Yes. She's like, okay. Because I got something very, very big to tell you. And I'm like, okay. And I'm not going to lie, guys. Now I want to know what it is. So as I'm walking out to the car, I'm like, why don't you tell me what you're going to tell me? She said, no, I want to save it for when you get back. I'm like, well, just, can you give me a hint? She's like, it's these 3 magical words. And I'm like, Beth, I just met you yesterday. I was like, there's no way you could love me so quickly. And she's like, you're going to break up with me. I said, well, I don't want. We're not even going out. I says, we just hung out. I says, can't we take this slow? She's like, no. I know what I want, and I want this. And I said, I'm so flattered, but I'm not ready for that yet. I'm going to have to say, I guess we're breaking up. And she slapped me right across the face. And she's like, I knew you were a joke. I knew you were just looking out for yourself. I knew this is it. I'm going to get my brother. And she walks in the house, and I've never quickly so ran to my car. And when I tell you, I ran to my car, and I'm putting the keys in, and I felt like it was a horror flick. I'm literally putting keys in my car right there. And I can't open the car. And this is not like the cars that we have right now. This is back in early 2000. This was a 96 Mitsubishi Galant. This had to be turned. I don't have the automatic locks. And I'm trying to get the door open. And finally I get the door open. I get in the car. And I'm not lying to you guys. The car wouldn't start. And I'm like, oh my God, any minute this guy's going to come in and he's going to rip my clothes and just rip my face off and just destroy me. And the car started. And I went so fast. I got home. I locked the doors. I put my futon in front of my house, in front of my door. Because obviously she knows where I live. What's to say that she can't come here with him? So I decide I'm going to call her. And I called her up and said, look, I just want you to know that I am not coming back. And she's like, I want you to know that when I slapped you, that means I don't want to be with you. And I says, okay. She's like, I'm done with you. I don't even know that you exist. Lose my number. And she hung up. Guys, that's the end of that story. That's the end of that date. Yeah, you can't make it up. You really can't make it up. And I kid you not. I don't go to people's house. When I was back being single, you'll never hear another date story from that moment on where I had gone to somebody's house. Because at that point, I didn't know if I was getting married. I don't know if I was going to be invited into a cult. I didn't know anything. So that was my new rule. No way do I go in somebody's house. We will be on neutral terms. Nothing can happen. Yeah, that's your crazy date story for this Thursday. I hope all of you enjoyed it. And what can I say? There's a lot more to tell. You'll be getting crazy date stories throughout the summer months. And it only gets crazier from there. So, how do we make this into a message? Well, trusting in people is important. Getting to know who you're hanging out with and what your surroundings is and your atmosphere is important. Being grateful for having the ability to see a red flag and knowing when to leave is truly a gift. I wish and hope that Bethany, which I've never spoken to ever again, found love, and I hope that she's happy, and I hope that her brother never finds me. But being on a podcast, maybe, just maybe, they'll stumble upon this episode, and then God only knows what would happen then. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's story. I'm over 16 minutes, and I know that's a long one, but it is what it is. For Have Faith, Let It Begin, my name is Angel. God bless you. May God be with you, and may He shine His light upon you and grant each and every single one of you peace on earth. And never forget, have faith, let it begin. Thank you for listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. That's right, Ariel. We're done with another show. And it's always great to have this show with you, my love. You know, we're going to encourage each and every person to listen to our show every single weekday. That's right, you and I are going to help change the world. Do you think that you can do that for me? Huh? Yeah, you know you can. She does. We want to let you know, and yes, we encourage you to listen to our show each and every weekday, and it's going to be live at 7:30. Make sure you're subscribed to our show. Make sure you get ready, fasten those seatbelts, because Ariel and I and my family are going to bring you a new topic, a new story each and every day, right? Isn't that right, Ariel? Yeah. And she's smiling at me. Guys, enjoy your day.